Hey, well, welcome back. This is the Vinyl Village Garage. My name is John, and this is the Great Pumpkin 1968 Firebird, doing a complete restoration here in the garage. And what we're going to get into today is the glass. That's about really it. We're going to get this stuff cleaned back up to install it, because what we're wanting to do is put the glass in the door and get the height of the door adjusted so we can get this thing painted. So before I put the door back together, though, I want to clean this glass. Now, we've got a couple choices. You could buy new glass. Kits aren't that expensive. Put them in there, not too complicated. But this particular car has something very special about the glass right here. I'll tell you why, and why it's worth recovering and restoring this glass best we can. Now, this technique that I'm going to show you will do a great job of removing overspray, silicone, any kind of glue or adhesive around the edges, rust stains, basically anything minus you cannot remove scratches, will not remove sandblasting, or acid etching. When it comes to those three things, I really have no great technique for repairing the glass. So if it's severely scratched, unfortunately, you can try those glass buffing kits. I just never been super successful with those. But what I'm going to show you here, get these things looking brand new and excellent shape again, and put them in this door so we can get this thing all tested and ready for paint. Now, what makes this glass so special for this car? Not necessarily the date code and stuff here, which is just about faded to non-existence. It's actually this right here. Early production 1968 cars, hit or miss. Some of them had them, some of them didn't, but it'd be early production cars had this in the glass, driver's side and passenger side, both. This car has it, and I want this detail put back onto this car. So this is why I want to salvage and clean this glass and get it looking as good as possible. Now, we know it's 50 years old. It has some minor blemishes, but we can make it look as good as we possibly can, quick and easy, and it'll remove all this staining down here, rust stains, this overspray, whatever gunk glue or whatever hanging out here. There's just little pieces of debris. I can run my hand across the glass. I can feel it in the glass. So some people say to take a razor blade and drag it, but I've actually accidentally scratched the glass with the edge of the razor blade. So I'm going to show you a way that works just as good, actually better than a razor blade, and gets all the junk out of this glass and actually polishes it easily, and you can go pick it up at the local hardware store right now. An added bonus, this is the rear window out of the same car. Now, the stainless trim was glued to the glass of some kind of silicone or RTV somewhere in its life. This should take that clean right off. Then also, in the bottom channel where all the crud has been sitting, the glass is stained up pretty good. Really very confident they should remove all that just the same so we can recycle and repurpose this glass. Because if you look right down here, it actually still has the stamping in the glass there for the date code and everything. So I really like to put that back in the car. So we'll go ahead and do the door glass first. Then we're going to try the same technique on that back window and see if it comes out just as nice. Just so you get an idea of what we're messing with here, I don't even mess with cleaning the glass first, typically with anything. No soap, no water, nothing. I'm going to just go right at it. But we'll go ahead and put a little glass cleaner on here. You can see how this is stained up and what's actually happening. But you can tell it's just kind of smearing the dirt around. It cleans it some, but I'm having to work pretty hard at it here. And now the other thing we're going to try, a little rubbing alcohol. Probably about the same result. Yeah, it's coming clean. It's doing better. That's not too bad, but the rust stain here around that boss for the window is still not coming off. So the secret here is, like I said, you don't even have to clean it. I just wanted to do that to show you what we're actually messing with, but look at this stuff right here. It's like a magic eraser. I assure you that it's not one of those cool magic erasers, but it works just about as good. Literally just cleans the stuff right off. And it'll grab every little last nib. I mean, it really just leaves the glass feeling like it was just polished or brand new. No one need to put any kind of water, lubricant, soap, nothing. Just go ahead and literally just kind of wipe it on the glass here. As you can see, that whole rust stain here that was on here has disappeared. Now, this is the inside. The outside of the glass is still a little cruddy. But you can see I don't have a whole lot of time into that. Now, this is the area I just did here on this side. It's actually really clean, the back side. Now, the outside of the glass is still nasty and disgusting, but watch this here. See how quick all that crap is coming right off? Now, that glass is almost perfectly clean and smooth now. This is all it really takes to get that glass looking like this, and I don't feel anything dragging. If I get back up here, I don't know if you can hear that through the camera or not, but it just has a spot that everything just sticks to it. I'll go ahead and do this spot here. I'd probably take it right off. Just about gone. That was some kind of a paint or something. Look at that, disappeared. Now I'll go ahead and do the whole inside of the glass here, get the whole inside all cleaned up, then we'll flip it over and do the other side. But technically, this is on the inside, but watch this. Let's talk about it. It doesn't do anything to etched or acid dipped or any kind of chemical. This is like a porcelain baked into the glass. It doesn't even disturb it whatsoever. And whatever this green goo is on the other side. But we'll get this side 100% clean, then I'll flip it over and show you how clear this gets. All right, simple as that. Backside's all finished. I'm gonna flip this over without dropping it. And we're gonna do the same thing to the outside of the glass. You can really see the difference then. I'll turn it this way. In particular, this area here is kind of nasty, so we'll get that looking real good really quick. I'll show you right here. This is some kind of, I don't know if it's paint or what, but it's definitely a little stickier, whatever it is, but it is still going to work a little harder. It might be paint. Not quite sure where the green paint came from, but it's coming right off though. Again, this is actually down inside the door. You would never see it anyway, but I kind of feel like since I'm this far into it, might as well go ahead and clean it. So just imagine that was overspray up on the top part of the glass where you didn't want it. It cleans it up, no chemicals, no mess, no water. You're not really doing any harm that I've ever seen to the glass, so why don't we do this to all the glass, right? Well, that's why I'm showing it to you, that you can go ahead and try the technique on your car. Let's say your car is already assembled, a little bit of crud or overspray on the windows. Go ahead and try this out. I bet you it'll clean it up just the same. There we go. Look at this. All right, some kind of junk there. Now that's coming really nice. Looks nice. All right, I'll show you what we have. Now I don't know how much really shows up in the camera because, well, you know, seeing is believing. But you can really tell. I don't really see any of those spots, discoloration. I can run my hand across the glass. It feels like painted or polished paint now, super slick and smooth. No more nibs or anything hanging out in the glass. So it looks 100% better here in the front. Now I'm going to go ahead and keep working the rest of the window here. Get all this crud here off the glass. Get it all cleaned up all the way to the back side here. And then I'll let you know what it is that I'm using. I don't know about you, but that sure looks a whole lot more gooder. Looking at the glass here, perfectly see through the bottom. Again, this is inside the door. You'll never see it, but just something about I've got the stuff out working it. Why not go ahead and clean it? Top of the glass, looking great. Now this is an area here, there's nothing I can do about it. I don't know if it'll come up in the camera, but you can see just there's a scratch here. I can't get it you can hear it there. Just barely catch it with my fingernail. Now, unfortunately, I don't know if anything that really will get rid of that, but I really feel I'll live with that little blemish there to have this right here still on this car. So I'll go ahead and get all the rest of the glass done, but I guess I'll let you guys know finally what it is that I'm using right here. And this so-called mystery product, well, super easy. Get any hardware, probably locally. In stock, on the shelf, ready to go. Quad 4 steel wool. This stuff's super fine. Like I said, you just seen what it does. It polishes the glass, gets all the crap out of it, gets all the crud and dirt out of it. Makes this stuff look really good, and I have less than 5 minutes in restoring or recovering this piece of glass, which is in phenomenal condition for as old as it actually is. So one last challenge, just do the rear window. It's probably in worse shape for the part that's visible to the world. So we're going to go ahead and do the same technique on it, and I'm very confident it should do the same thing or come out just as nice. But listen to this. You hear all that junk in the glass? It sounds like I'm running my hand across sandpaper. You go against that piece of glass that I just polished up here. Silent, because it just gets all the junk out of the glass. I'm trying to show you what it does, and you can use this technique at home and understand the benefits of it and how easy it is. So let's go ahead and knock out the rear window here and see how well it comes out. Well, I don't know about you, but that doesn't look too bad for a 50-year-old glass. See right through it, nice shine. Listen to that. Doesn't sound like sandpaper anymore. Came out really nice. So this is a little interesting blemish right here. That's where the stainless trim has rubbed on the glass for so long. Actually has a little bit of a groove in it, so nothing I can do about that. But again, it's nice to retain the original glass, and I have pennies on the dollar and steel wool and polish this thing back up. Now I have the original date-coated glass put back in this car for basically pennies, like almost nothing. So there you have it, polishing the glass the VVG way is how it works for me. I've done many cars that way. And recovered glass, that saves dollars and puts in something else that you can do to put into this car, because like we've already discovered, we've kind of went over the budget just a little bit on this bad boy, but a lot of it's just due to inflation. Not so much hidden damage or things we didn't project, but just cost of stuff went up, just what it is. So whenever we can save a couple bucks, hey, why not? Let's go ahead and do that. So next go around, we're going to put the glass in the door and experiment with how much it causes that door to settle, because that glass weighs quite a bit. The regulator, the door latch, the door panel, door handle, you get the idea. It has some weight to it, so it's going to change the elevation or the height of that door, potentially. Or does it? And that's what we're going to prove on the next video here. So don't forget to stay tuned and subscribe and share with your friends. So hit the 5,000 subscriber mark. I'd like to see it keep climbing and see how far this thing can go. So far, so good. It's been a whole lot of fun dragging you guys along for the journey just the same. And of course, anything you would like to see, please hit me up in the comments, send me an email, even send me pictures of your projects. I have thoroughly enjoyed, I can't even tell you the hundreds of projects I have seen pictures on and had conversations with you guys building your cars at home. I think it's phenomenal, and it's even better knowing what we've done here has helped inspire or get you over some of those obstacles in getting your car done. So anyway, I've rambled on enough. I'm going to take a little break here, find me something to eat. Then we're going to experiment with this door and see how much that glass really weighs and if it really matters or not. So I'll grab the camera again then and hope to see you guys later.